Okay, that's much better. Sheesh. Starting off a little scuffed today here. Par for the course. Okay. Hello, everybody. It is I, Rikuhan, the Lich. And we are not starting off strong here. Trying to get a little bit of food, a little bit of drink. Open up the thing, and everything's bad. My burrito's falling apart on me. Wow. I need a fork. Hold on. Girl. Okay. So, wow. Today, I am going to be exploring. I've had the Atari Vault for a long time, but then Atari put out, why is this all poppy? Atari put out their 50th anniversary edition thing, and so Atari 50, and then it came on sale, and so I got it, and I bought all the little DLC things with it. So we're going to, I've played, Atari games on this stream, on this channel before, and because that is the concept, that is the console that I grew up with. I was 4 years old when the Atari, thanks to the little, I already read up some of the history of this stuff. So let me get into this here. So there's this history of the game, of everything Atari, right here. From their earliest arcade game stuff, what they called the video computer system, which basically eventually changed, eventually became the 2600. The 5200, the 7800, the game crash of 83. The interesting thing that they don't touch on this history is, they do talk about Pac-Man, but they don't tie it into that 1983 game crash. Basically, there was a point where Atari kind of open sourced their software so that anybody could make a cartridge to run on the 2600. And there was no quality control or anything like that, so you had, you had numerous games out there that could be played on the 2600, some of which were, especially by, 81, 82, 83. You started getting some really bad games out there, some questionable games out there. And then Atari shot themselves in the foot by coming out with a Pac-Man game that was not Pac-Man, to really, it sold a lot, it was their best-selling, cartridge. But even with that, it wasn't, it wasn't Pac-Man. It was blurry. It was, basically in order to get the graphics to work right, they basically had to make the ghosts almost literally ghost-like. They're, so they kind of flicker in and out, and sometimes you couldn't see them. The map was all wrong. It never changed. All that sort of stuff. And, people came to, it's like, okay, well, I bought this game. Yay. I have Pac-Man on the Atari, but it's just not the same as what you get in the arcade. So a lot of people complained about that. And right around the same time, E.T. the Extraterrestrial movie came out. And so Atari rushed out a Atari game. And it was practically unplayable. So a lot of people, bought the game, great, and then they couldn't play it. You'd fall down a hole and then couldn't get out of it, that kind of stuff. And so a lot of people returned the game, and they ended up just burying it and Pac-Man and a bunch of others out in a New Mexico landfill, and somebody dug up later. So, but the thing, they kind of touch on those things, but they don't talk about Pac-Man being one of the games that kind of, they don't mention E.T. at all in this little history thing. So, anyway. But, yeah, they go through a pretty interesting history. And there's still a lot in here that, even I didn't know that, So, it's an interesting thing. So, let's sort by platform. Let's sort by title. Sorry there. Huh. Interesting. Content type. Sort by year. There we go. 2600. Those are all the arcade games. And we got 2600 by title here. Some of these are original. Some of these are kind of new-ish games. Games made for, you know, later. Some of them are like recent, like within the past 20 years. This one's an original. This is actually the first game I played, even though the game came with, when you originally bought it, and they got some hidden ones in here, so we're gonna have to figure out what those hidden ones are. When you originally bought the Atari 2600 in 1977, you got this, the combat. Let me see where I can put myself here. We originally got the combat game. But that took a little bit for 4-year-old me to kind of understand, and, you know, so my dad played that, and, you know, neighbors played it. I mean, I think my dad got it as much for himself as he did for me. My dad was always pretty on top of, you know, at least, you know, at first. Something happened to him later on in his life where he got himself set in a thing, and he wouldn't budge. It took a long time for me to get a modern day computer, and even then when I got it, and even then when we got it, he was still holding on to stuff. Already been outdated. But you know, when the Atari 2600 came out, you know, we were at a time where we could afford it. You know, we did a lot of feast and famine through my life, through my early years. Now it's just famine. And but this game came with it, and then he bought along with it Air Sea Battle. So first 9 cartridges released for Atari. So it gives you the history. You know. I did change game modes. What? I wonder if I can. There you go. You have like 2 players or something like this. And you only shoot once. Yeah. Ah, okay. Down, left, right, yep. Fire weapon. Select quick menus, start. Oh, I see, okay. Oh, there you go. So there's all the... Interesting, okay. Game modes, you got these balloons and stuff. Yeah, so shoot airplanes, shoot ships. Mines to get in the way. Some of these, you know, you would be able to, you know, more of a target practice thing. And then with this one, you know, you need boats. You can slow down, speed up. And you have to time it right. There. Oh. Can't move until... You know, that kind of stuff. Boats, planes, bombing ships. Yeah. That kind of stuff. And then you have player versus player here. Yeah. Player one to try to that kind of thing. A couple of various versions of that one. You can use some obstacles in the way. And then back to the original. So, yeah. So unless I get some people to play with me here, we're not going to do that one. Bowling, centipede. So let's show the combat game here. So again, you know, that kind of thing. Obstacles. So now you have to go. So that's more fun with. One of these has a more of a Pong type of thing. A little less, little smaller obstacles, bigger obstacles. There we go. So now you can do that. Yeah. My dad loved this one particularly because, you know, he's an engineer, so, you know, calculating angles and, you know, that kind of stuff, you know. So those are all the tank games. Oh, there's an invisible one. Yeah, where you're invisible and you can't, you know, that kind of stuff. You don't know where you are until while that was out there, you were visible. You know, so somewhere in there, you know, in there somewhere. I don't know. That kind of thing. And then you have planes. That kind of thing. In the clouds, out of the clouds, multiple, you know, 3 fighters on 1 bomber kind of thing. Jets, in clouds, out of clouds, 2 on 2, 3 on 1, 2 on 2. Yeah. So. So let's play an actual game here, shall we? Woo. Oh. Oh, they got me. I'm actually doing pretty good to this. Wow, got life. Oh. The spider's nearly gotten me a few times here, but I'm surprised. Whoops. Uh-oh. Oh. Something happened. Oh boy. Ooh! What happens if I just stand there, right? Whoop. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, ooh, fleas. And it's like, you know, this is the level of ooh. I don't know how that spider isn't killing me. Wow. Wow. Oh, that's bad. Oh, I got him. Oop. Sheesh. Oh, there we go. I just got the life I just lost. Alright. Scorpion went through there fast. Come on, move! Whoa! Just trap him out. Hole there. These guys are fast. Yeah. Woo. See that? Huh. Ah, wow. Spiders don't see quite as deadly as they. Playing this on the Atari vault, the spiders were. I think they're running right through me. Ugh. I think that's it. Yep, that's it. Oops. Any questions? Okay. Well. Oh, let's see what this is. Okay. Bowling, we used to play that. Berserk, that's a good one. Woo. Okay. You have to be careful because I believe if you touch the walls. Yep. Oh crap. Ha! Woo! I think I shot its. Okay. All right, take themselves out. The arcade game was really chaotic because. Ah. Woo! Well, god damn it. I think I hit. Oh shit! That thing comes after you. Go away. Just have to kind of get away. Whoop. Ah. Whoops. Wah! Go away. Whoops. Wah! Go away. Ah! Got me. Bastard. Ah! Ah! Go away! Ah! Ooh! Whoop! God damn it! That's a pretty bad placement to put. I gotta make sure to put my finger there. Whoa! He shot me. Who can shoot faster? Woo! Yeah. Whoop! Come here. Wow. There we go. I think I got that. Woo! Got a bucket here. Ah! Wow. Whoop! Whoop! Aha! Shit. Whoop. Woo! Oh! Shoot me in the head. Ah, there we go. Ah! Got too close. There we go. Ah! There we go. Yeah, you gotta take yourself out. That's even better. Let's go this way. Whoops. Not to touch the walls. There's not much rhyme or reason to these maps, unfortunately. I think that does me. Oh, I still have one left. Woo! Yeah, I got too close. Yeah. Yeah, you bastard. I think that was my last life. Yep, that was. It's a nice berserk. Oh, that's an enhanced version. Okay, that's the original. Basketball. Asteroids. Alright, we're going to come back to that. Hold on just for a second. Don't go nowhere. Okay. So, asteroids. This is basically, you know, Atari's version of the arcade game. In this version, you can just kind of sit here and shoot for hours. Because it took forever for the thing about this is that it wasn't as random as the arcade game was. So it's very easy to just sit here and just lay right in, you know. Unless you miss. And then you get a life back like that. Yeah. No, Matara, come bug me. Matara went live. Come bug me. No, Matara, come bug me. Oh. Well. Turn off. There we go. Oh. Oh, I warped. Oh, damn it. Ooh, I nearly warped right into that. Whoops. There we go. The thing about the asteroid game is that, you know, if you stay in one position, you're pretty much fine. You just sit there and rotate and, you know, take out everything that's around you. The instant you start moving, you engage the jets and you know, start moving around and stuff like that. Then it becomes, especially, you know, it's like you take, you know, the safest place in the field is right dead center. As long as you stay right dead center, you're fine. The second you stray from that, you know, you clear the field, and then here comes all these asteroids right, you know, right where you're at. You know, you get yourself out on the fringes, clear the field, and boom, there you are now, right in amongst, you know, if you last a second, you're lucky. So the trick is, of course, to just be able to do this from a stationary, you know, just be able to kind of rotate around one spot and don't otherwise move. Make back all the stuff that I'm guessing. Oh, there we go. There we go. Shoot some flyaways like that one. If you hit them at the right angles, they go flying. What I'm really kind of looking for little UFO things. When they go flying like that, you have to make them your first priority, because those ones will come out of nowhere and get you. Like that. Ah. Oh, shit. Ah. Yeah, I'm playing on an Xbox controller here. Yeah, on my computer. And, you know, rather than obviously the original 2600 joystick, which was, you know, it was just a big big box the size of your hand. You know, depending on how old you were, probably even bigger than the size of your hand. You know, simple joystick, one run red button, and that was it. You know, so it was a little. Yeah, I'm sitting here hitting the hyperspace thing on by mistake, and it's a lot harder to do that. Yeah. God, did I luck out on that one. Yep. And while, you know, moving around with the control stick on an Xbox is certainly, it's a bit faster and a bit more responsive than the Atari joystick was. That can be a bit of a disadvantage in the sense that, you know, if I do not want a hyperspace, you know, basically when you pull the stick all the way down, down is to go to hyperspace, or sometimes, you know, depending on the version that you're playing here, it's the shields. The shields are fine. But if you do the hyperspace thing, you wonder if you would have gotten hit if you'd put your oh shit, boom. And this is where the shield comes in handy when you're playing with that version. An interesting aspect that if you look if you look real closely, as I'm firing, as you're looking at the screen, you know, basically, if I'm firing towards my avatar here, the bullets thing will actually appear on the it'll actually appear on the other side of the screen. But if you fire the other way away from me, it won't reach the edge. And it won't scroll to the other side. So it's an interesting, you know, way that if you see, you know, like this blue one that's going right into the edge there, you know, he's getting out of range and everything like that. You turn around, you start firing in the opposite direction, and you can destroy him before he even appears back on the screen on the other side. So that's asteroids. I will come back and do adventure at a later point. Crystal Castles. This is a later game, and you know, Bentley Bear there became its Bentley Bear. Kind of became Atari's unofficial mascot for a little bit. Never really took hold of anything. You know, it wasn't like, you know, Sega had Sonic, Nintendo had Mario. You know, Atari had, you know, they couldn't quite take Pac-Man as their mascot. Even though they were the first console to get Pac-Man, they couldn't exactly take it as their mascot. Bentley they could take as their mascot. Let's see, 1984, so this was after the crash. This is kind of in those in-between years. Games weren't selling. Consoles weren't selling. The Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES, wouldn't be out for another year. And so basically you almost had kind of a vacuum. And this, there was an arcade game, Crystal Castles. This came out for the 2600. I didn't see it until it was on PC. I had a PC version of this eons ago. And so the idea is that you're, it's very Pac-Man-like. You're going around here trying to avoid those things and collect all the little dots that are, oop. Trolls aren't exactly. Yeah. And basically you play until all the dots get taken up, and it's either you get them or these things that are chasing you do, and then eventually there's going to be like a tornado or something or other thing that comes and gets you. Tries to get you. Whoop, not that way. Got one last one down here. Aha! Oh, and then you got these trees. And, yeah, see. Oh! Got me. Ah! Oh, boy. I'm just kidding. These trees are fast. Oh, there's the... Trying to get to whatever that honey thing is over there. Oops. I think I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. There we go. It's kind of hard to see. Yeah, I mean, there's only so much you can do with 4-bit graphics when you get the arcade game version of it. It's much more clear and colorful. You know, 4-bit, 8-bit graphics. The NES came out with 16 and a lot more colors and things, and wasn't so, these are very big pixels, and when you got very big pixels like that, the graphic quality goes down a lot. Here's another one. Yep. Ugh. Ah! I'm getting killed. Ugh. I'm getting shot. Oh. Ah! So the idea is to hit these, hit them when they're red. And then try to get the diamonds that spawn from that. And if you hit a white one, they start shooting back at you. Ugh. Whoops. Yeah, I think I cleared the level. Ah, shot me. Ah! Where'd you come from? Whoops. Woo. Ah. Ah, I got killed. No, I wasn't looking. Now I'm dead. Hold the paddle controller's buttons so the paddles, so they were able, and I was able to use hold the paddle buttons down to determine the length of the laser blast. Shooting gallery designed for younger gamers. 2 players can tap each other as well as enemies in the competitive mode. So you gotta use to shoot the red demons. Those produce a diamond, and then you shoot the diamonds. If you shoot a white demon, it turns into a skull and starts shooting back at you. There we go. Dig Dug. I never got this for the Atari 2600. I always played it in the arcade. Dig to defeat Puka and Fire, but keep an eye out for valuable veggies. While the Atari 2600 was already 6 years old by the time Dig Dug was released, its programmers were able to create a remarkable translation of the game to the very different hardware. Yeah. That's the thing, you're trying to port. The arcades, you can do 8, 16, sometimes even 32-bit graphics. And then you got to somehow, translate 8-bit, 16-bit, 32-bit graphics down to Well, I think Atari was 8-bit. Some of it was 4, but a lot of it was 8. But like Nintendo NES was 16-bit. And the arcades were 16, 32, 64. So I had to somehow come down in the graphics in order to get it to work. Uh-oh. Ooh. Whoops. I think I'm supposed to get those somehow. Oh. Ah. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think I'm in trouble. Crunch. Okay. Oh, that's good. Whoops. Oops. I don't know if I'm winning or losing on those. Squish down. Come on, dude. Gotcha. I think I'm just supposed to take these guys out and hopefully before they can take me out. Got him. Haha. Uh-oh. Oh boy. Uh-oh. Uh-huh. Whoops. He's gonna get away. Oh, you stopped. You stopped to fire off your breath, and that gave me the opportunity I needed to... Oops. Uh-oh. I'm dead. Oof, that was close. Oh! They blasted me. He's getting away. I'm dead. Oops. I'm gonna get blasted here. Oops. Gotcha. Oh boy. Uh-oh. This guy's coming at me. Oh crap. I gotta get him before I get anything else. Woo! Nope, he's gonna get away. Nope. He got away. Ah. Big Doug. Dodging was a fun little game. Now, that's the one you could, you got your joystick there. All you have to do is move them. Up and down, whatever. Boy, you really wrenched that sucker, too. So the idea is to avoid. Oh, yeah. Yep. Did the same thing again. Ah. Move up. Yeah. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, this thing's kind of... Ugh. Yeah, move. Yeah, it won't. It's not quite. The Xbox controller isn't quite as responsive. Glaxian. That's kind of a new one. While sometimes believes that replicating Namco's colorful dynamic cyberspace shooter was impossible, programmers Mark Ackerman and Glenn Parker were able to display vastly more on-screen enemies using a new graphics technique for which they were rewarded a patent. 1983. So this was Space Invaders too. Woo! Jeez, you're getting annoying. All right. I'm dead. The difference between this and Space Invaders is, you know, well, besides the obvious thing is that these guys are coming down and flying towards you, but you notice they're not, the main grouping isn't getting any closer. Whoops. I'm gonna die. Yep. Boom. Now that one. Oh, how many got left? How's it? Interesting game that I'm not seeing in any of these retrospectives is was a very popular game called Defender. And I think the reason for that is because there was a lot of flashy lights in Defender. It actually triggered, you know, more so than some games here, actually triggered epileptic seizures in people. So even with the warning, I mean, well, they didn't have any warnings on the thing originally. They didn't realize it did that. They just kind of took it out of Atari's rotation here, and it's not in any of the retrospectives that I've seen. Haunted House will come back to. Millipede. Missile Command. Here's the original Pac-Man. you paid any attention to any kind of movies or anything like that, you're going to recognize something. The music used for this game appeared in so many movies depicting video games, including like Superman 3. There's that, it's towards the end where the bad guys have kind of holed themselves up in this cave, and then Superman's on his way to get them, and they like start firing missiles and stuff at him. Well, every time that missiles fire, basically you get a sound from another game called, I think, Star Command. But they'd be watching the monitors, but it'd be like a video game kind of thing. You know, they'd have Superman flying around in this video games format, and these crosshairs trying to put these crosshairs on them and hit the fire button on the crosshairs, and that would launch missiles at Superman. And like when the hold on. When the graphic of the video game first shows up, it's Pac-Man. And a lot of the sounds were, so it was a combination of Pac-Man and Star Command. And because I played both games, I recognized it instantly. But Pac-Man's been in a whole bunch of this has been in a whole bunch of. So listen for it. Yeah. Do 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 do. Whoop. And that. Yeah. So because this is so graphics intensive, it made the ghosts kind of hard to see. Ugh, boy. You'd think an Xbox controller would be a little bit more responsive to what I'm trying to tell it to do. Come on, guys. Ah! Yeah. And, they came out, they got the rights to do Pac-Man. They were the first console to get Pac-Man. But they didn't get the original, they had to pare down the graphics in order to work on their system. And even then, the whole reason why everything flickers is because they're robbing Peter to pay Paul in terms of power and stuff. And so it really, in order to have these ghosts appear, is a real test of their graphics to all these ghosts are appearing, if they appear together, then they can be a little bit more solid because you're only using one, and because they're, they color coded the ghosts barely. There's a pink one, there's a blue one, there's a yellow one. You know, there's a green one. Yeah, they're all color coded. Barely, but you know, it's like they really. Ah. Ah. Yeah, now I'm out of power pellets. I'm kind of screwed. Come on, damn it, go up. I got that one last one. Woo! Oh, there we go. Cleared the screen. And then you get the same screen, you know? It's just this over and over and over and over. So it's like, yeah, people bought this like crazy. But then that's it? This is all there is? Flickering ghosts I can barely see? This isn't Pac-Man. You know? I'm gonna die. Ah, oh, damn it. Come on, go up. Thank you. Ooh, barely got that one and he came right on me. Alright, go up. Go up. Go down. Damn controller. Woo, got that one just in time. Ooh, I'm dead. Ooh, ah, damn it, go up. Ah. Oh, fuck. They knew I was going to run for that pellet. They all went for me. Yeah. Pac-Man. On the Atari 2600. Yeah. 1982. This came out in 82. I think E.T. came out later 82, like around Christmas. And like I said, by this time, you know, everybody's like, this isn't Pac-Man. What crap Pac-Man game is this? Yeah, this looks nothing like the arcade. You know, the arcade is much more colorful. You can see the ghosts and Pac-Man clearly. You know, the you know, if you cleared the maze, you get a different maze setup. This one, you clear maze after maze after maze, and it's always the same maze over and over and over again. The parts where you could jump out of one side of the screen to the other, in the original Pac-Man, that's from side to side. In this one, it's up and down. You know. So I mean, it's like it bears no resemblance to the original mazes. It's a whole new maze. You know. Yeah. So I mean, a lot of people complained about it. And, you know, some wanted refunds because this is a Pac-Man, that kind of thing. So, yeah. Real Sports. Saboteur, Save Mary. Solaris. That might be. Okay, I'm going to be right back here. Be helpful if my mic was on. God damn it. Destroying whole planets. Recognize that one. Got you. Yeah. Oh, there we are. Oh, destroyed me. Alright, fine. Oh, my God. Alright, fine. Haha! Kind of hard to see where you are and what you're doing. Hmm. Hmm. No Star Raiders. Sword fight. Huh. Tower of Mystery. Video pinball. Alright. Yard's Revenge. So the idea here was to... Woo! Through this, you can... I mean, that's a flashing light there that you could possibly, cause a seizure with, too. These are more fun. Woo! Oh, got me before I could shoot it. Ah! Yeah, you gotta avoid that thing. Got a little homing missile out there. Nope. Not too sure which hit. You can get killed by your own missile. Oh, almost. Mm. Damn. That was a better shot than that at one time. There we go. Sheesh. It's a lot easier. Damn. You have to get the shield in order to get it to... Too low. Ah! See? Get killed by your own missile. Yara's Revenge. That was a big one when it came out. It nearly saved the console. 82. Yeah. And I got that, and I bought this is what I think it was basically one of the last ones we bought. We bought Pac-Man, but we also got Yara's Revenge, and it's a comic book and everything that came with it. Yeah, it's an interesting, action-packed comic book. New inside, Yara's Revenge from Atari action-packed comic book. Yeah. Basically an insectoid species that being, attacked, and you have to go out and, get all armored up and go out and try to defeat this, this bad guy. One of the last great games that Atari put out. Yeah. Alright. Berserk. Galaxian. Millipede. See, this is the Atari 5200. Now you get a Pac-Man. See? Now you got a Pac-Man. Yeah. This looks like the original. Whoops. Come on. Yeah, you can't go up. Damn it, go sideways. Nope. Didn't get there fast enough. Now I'm in trouble. Come on, get in there. Oh my god. My controller. My controller wouldn't turn. Well, if using the D-pad works. It does. There we go. I'm in trouble. Come on. Turn around, damn you. I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. I'm dead. Box myself into a corner there. Woo-hoo-hoo. Whoops. Damn it. I'm in trouble. Yep. I was trying to hit that tunnel to get to the other side of the map. I was trying to do that. Wouldn't let me. Even with the D-pad. I'm in trouble. Woo. I'm in trouble. Oh! One pellet left. One pellet left. See, so that's what everybody was expecting when the Atari came out, when the 2600 version came out. They were expecting that. They got the other one. And the 5200 system came out, but nobody was interested anymore. It's 82. Nobody was interested anymore. And the 52's controller was kind of messed up. So Star Raiders. Well, this is any different. Yeah, so this is what Star Raiders looked like. It had the pew pew kind of stuff. Computer tracking. Hmm. Okay. Where's my enemy? Hmm. All right, how did I get half you? Huh. All right, I'll get this one. It's not presenting you with enemies. Super breakout, asteroids, 7800. All the Lynx games. I'll save the adventure game and stuff like that for later. Anybody's interested. Let's try something else here. All right. I'll stop this for now. Let's do a bit more racing. Which means I need to change up my info. Uh, Okay. So let's save that. It didn't seem to make much of a difference. Okay. Hmm. That's not what I want. That's what I want. Um. Oh. Yeah. Let me stop this entirely. Change some things and then come back in. So don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.